How to build a Shopify website. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to know the steps you need required to build your own Shopify website. So let's start. So one of the first things you're going to want to do when setting up your Shopify account is make sure you have a Shopify account first. If you don't, no worries. You could click the link in the description below to get started. Alright, so once you create your account, right, you'll be able to log into your Shopify account, right, and this is what your admin will look like. This is where you'll pretty much be every single day when it comes to your Shopify store. Here's where you'll be able to track the orders, the customers, the products, and the online store, and etc. So let's just give you a quick walkthrough on what to expect when you first log into your admin. So when you log in, right, you're welcome to, on the left side, your menu, right? So this is the menu in the admin. So here is where you'll be able to track your orders by clicking on orders page. So you'll be able to quickly see whenever somebody checks out successfully, here is where the orders will be created. Drafts, very straightforward. It's where you'll be able to come and see where when you want to create custom draft orders, here's where you come and get them. Right, and it's very simple to create these custom orders, right, for your Shopify store. Next, we have products. Products is where you'll be able to add a single product or import a list of products that you have made from another Shopify store or another e-commerce site that you are running as well. And then we have our customers page. Customers page, very straightforward. It's where you'll be able to add any customers manually who buy something, or you want to add a customer manually, right? But also here's where they'll be added automatically if they check out on their own from your store. Marketing is where you'll be able to track all of your marketing campaigns, right, within Shopify too. Right? And then you have your discounts. Discounts is where you'll be able to create custom discounts for special occasions, right? It could be like, if you buy one, get the second one 50% off. Something like that. You'll be able to go ahead when you're creating discounts within your Shopify store. And then we have content. Content's pretty straightforward. It's where you'll be able to customize and upload your files, right? Your menus, and create blog posts as well for your store. And then we have markets. Markets is probably one of the most important pages that you'll have in Shopify store. Here's where you'll be able to control which markets you want to sell. So right now, since I am in Canada, the only market I can sell in right now is Canadian market, right? But let's say a US customer finds my store, right, and they try to check out, they will not be able to check out because I don't have the United States market set up, right? We'll get to that throughout the video. And then we have finance, right? Finance is probably one of the other more popular pages you're going to be in. Here's where you'll be able to track your payouts for your store as well whenever somebody successfully buys something from your store, and you'll be able to track your payouts of when it will be received in your bank account. And then we have analytics. Analytics is where you'll be able to see a lot more data information about your store. And then we have the online store, agentic store, and the inbox. We'll get to that throughout the video. Alright, so one of the first things you want to do when you're building your Shopify store, or you're building your Shopify website, right, is you're going to want to first add a product. So to do that, click on products, select add product. From here, we're going to add a basic product. We're going to click on upload new, right, and then we're going to just upload this one right here, a basic tee, right? And remember, when adding a product, right, you want to make sure your title is not just t-shirt, right? You want to be as detailed as possible, right? So it could be like, basic men white t-shirt, right? Very basic, right, but also very detailed, right? Because I'm not just writing t-shirt or white t-shirt, right? But I'm being a little bit more destructive. Maybe that's the style, right? It's called basic man, right? That's the t-shirt you're calling it, right? And then we're gonna just add descriptions. Right, for this, we're gonna just use Sidekick. Sidekick's pretty decent at creating descriptions, right? If you have your own description already, just copy and paste it into description. From here, we're gonna add a price. We're gonna pretend that this is a premium t-shirt store. So we're gonna just click 35, but then we're gonna add the compare price at 55. So what this will do is that it will slash the price out to of $55 to $35. And then we're gonna just add an inventory of about maybe 20 t-shirts, right? For shipping and packing, we're gonna just leave it as is for now. But if I was selling this for real, right, you'll want to make sure you have your package and your product weight set correctly, because you want to make sure your customer is charged the right amount for shipping and they're not being overly charged. So since I am selling t-shirts, right, I do want to make sure I have the sizes of what's available. All right, so we're gonna do, those are the most common ones, right? We're gonna do fabric, and we're gonna do cotton for now. We're gonna just keep care instructions and machine washable. There we go. All right. So then, since I don't have since I only added this only updated for the variant for small, we're gonna update this as well. Right. So what we could do is just click. If I go back up. Nope. Where are we again? Update for visual variants only. Okay, I think I know what to do after. Okay, so then for this we're gonna just do white, right? Since that's the only thing that we have here. Now here we have in the bottom we have the search engine listing. Search engine listing, you can leave it as is when you're entering your data if it's correctly set up, right? So if you enter the right title, right description, right, Shopify will take that and add it here. So it will do the work for you, right? So basic man YT, right? That's what we want, and then it will update the URL handle so that it looks clean as well, which is really important. So once we're happy with that, we just want to make sure you review your publishing channels and just check where you want this to be shown. So I don't want this to be shown in the shop or point of sale, only online store and inbox, right? And then from there, we're just gonna leave no tags and we're just gonna click save. And we just added our very first product. All right, so now that we added our very first product, right, we're gonna just update this and see if I can edit the update for individual products only. Let me see if I can change it here. Hey. It's very interesting. I'll need to review this. Yeah, I'll have to update that, but don't really need to do that right now. Well, for now, we'll leave it as is. All right, so now that we've completed that step of adding our very first product, right, let's go ahead and add a collection. So a collection is fantastic when you want to you want to show what's being popular, right? So if we go to collections, right, I'm just gonna delete this one. This is from a previous example. We do add collection. We're gonna do best summer that caps. Oops. Caps, right? Best summer that caps, right? We're gonna just write a. There's no AI here, but here let's say best summer that find the best summer that had styles for this summer season, right? And then from here we'll just upload. Oh well, I will need to upload the products, so let's go back to products, go back to add product. We're gonna just do this one fast. Again, you want to make sure Okay. And then we're gonna just do one more. Why are you not working? Not working. There's like always a glitch with Shopify here. Yeah, Shopify, there's a glitch right now with Shopify. Alright, so then we're gonna go here. We're gonna do okay, so let's pretend that we filled out everything is correct, right? We're gonna go to collections. We're gonna update our collection now. Okay. Best. Yes. And has for this summer season. Right, so now we're gonna just do manual and we're gonna just browse, right? And we're gonna just add these two. So that means that these will show up in our collection. And there we go. Right, and if we wanted to, we can add an image as well for it. So now that we have our first product added and our first collection added, we're gonna move on to the next thing when it comes to setting up your store. And that is one of the most exciting parts is setting up your online store. Alright, so before we set up the online store, right, we're going to want to go to pages and we're going to add a new page, right? So we're going to just click here on the top right, click add page, and we're going to write an about us page, right? So you want to have an about us page because it will help just with telling your customer what your store is about, right? I just had a sample one created on ChatGPT, right? You can use Sidekick if you want as well to help you with this, right? We want this to be visible. And we're gonna just do one more page and we're gonna do the contact us, right? Here, save. And we have again ChatGPT. I just used it. You can use ChatGPT as well and just update whatever you need to make it match your store information. All right, so now that we have our pages set up, right, we'll need those later. So here in your online store is where you'll be able to control and find all your themes. So under your draft themes is under where you'll have all your themes that you've downloaded and that are in draft, right? So meaning you can play around with these and it will not affect the main store. The main store is under Horizon right now, right? The next is you have your AI stores here design. So if you want to use AI designs, right, you can use that as well. Or you could go ahead and use any of these free themes by Shopify for your store as well. Or you could visit the theme store and buy third-party themes as well, right? You could buy paid ones from here, or you could download again free Shopify themes for your store right here. All right, for this example, we're just gonna keep the Horizon theme. We're gonna use the Horizon theme. So inside the theme editor, right, it's very straightforward. It might look a little bit scary the first time, but it's actually pretty easy to navigate. So if you want to make changes to any certain sections of your store, all you need to do is just make sure you click when you have the highlighted blue box. So right now, if I click the header, it will open on the right side more customization tools that I can use to change and update this, right? So if I want to change, let's say I want to change the logo to become the center, I can change it to become center, right? Let's say I want the menu to also be center, right? Then I can change that and maybe leave the logo to left, right? So we'll leave it as that for now, right? And then if I wanted to, I could do the row, the bottom, or top, right? We'll leave it at top for now since it looks really good like that. All right, and then from there you can just customize a few things that you want, right? Maybe you want to add the flag, right? Maybe that's really important for you as well, just to know, let your customers know what store they're looking at right now, right? And so you can make a lot of small changes like that. So and then if you want to change the header hero image, right, just click here on the box, and as you can see, it updates it. the sections here. Here you'll be able to change a lot more things, right? So since let's say I'm selling clothing, right? So for men, I want maybe something very simple. Let's just try this one for now. Right, and then from here, if I click the text, I can customize it here. Like, find your next style. Right. And then you could just keep changing around, right? So we can click the button. If you click the certain element, right, it will update here. You could customize which page you want. When people click, right, the button to go to by going here and then selecting here and selecting which page you want them to go to, right? For now, we want them to go to all products, right? And once you're happy with that, right, you could also add it to open link a new tab, right? But maybe you don't want to, right? You just want to keep it as is like that. And then once you like that, you can just make sure you click save for any changes. So now let's go ahead and review our products page. So we go to products page, right? We could go ahead and see that the variant, right? I can only shop for a small t-shirt, right? Medium, large, XL are not in stock. Because if you remember earlier in the video, right? I had to review how to make sure to update the variants for small, large, and extra large as well, right? And as you can see here, it's dryer shave and machine washable, right? But it's only updated for the small, right? It's not updating for the others as well. And then we have the description right here as well. And then products that you might like, right? And you can add more sections, right? If you want, you can either keep this section, you can add another section by clicking add sections, right? And just, you know, playing around to see what works for your page design, right? And then if we go back to the t-shirts, to the hats, we're gonna see sold out. We're not gonna have a lot of information, and that's because we don't have the inventory updated, right? So if we go back to the products page for the hat, and we go back to where are you variants, let's just update this to 25, and we're going to update this to 4. Right, so we only have 4 in stock, right? So if we go back to the online store and we go back to edit theme, we go, oh well, now it's updated the price, but it's still showing show out. Let's see what happens. Let's see why that is. I have 4 in stock here, so that's good. Available. Should be able to buy it. I should be able to buy it. So let's try again. There we go. So yeah, it just needed an update. I guess I just need to refresh the theme editor, right? So it works now. All right, so now that we've edited our online theme store, right, you could go ahead and update your pages, right, as well that we had. So we go back to the home, the editor, right? We click here on the top center. We click pages to find the page that we want to edit, right? So let's say we want to edit the contact page, right? We can edit the contact page right here, right? And as well, if we go to pages, right, we do have a contacts page, default page. Oh yes, the about us, right? We had the about us, but that's not what we want, right? Or we could keep it as is, right? And just make sure you update a lot of things here. We're like adding like the contact form maybe. Well, no, this is the about us page. We don't want that. We want it to be the contacts page here. And then, well, we'll have to update. I know what happened. I forgot to create a different template for it. That's really important when you're in Shopify. You want to create a different template, because if you create like using the same template, it will override it for the whole store sometimes, which was a common issue when I used to work at Shopify. and a lot of merchants did this, where we had to help them in the system and updating that. So that's how you update stuff from the theme editor, right, for your Shopify store, right? And again, you can find every draft theme here, and your main theme will show up here as well. And then once you're happy with your online store, you're going to need to go to settings. For settings, you're going to want to make sure you have your payments page set up. Without this being set up, you won't be able to accept payments, right? So you want to set up Shopify payments. Again, since I'm in Canada, right, I have to use Shopify payments, right? Only, and let's say you want to use your own Stripe account. Well, you actually can't, since Shopify payments technically uses Stripe as well, right? You can only add your own Stripe account if you get suspended from Shopify payments, right? Depending, it could be like because of so much chargebacks, or just something that you didn't do properly, right? They will remove you, right? Because they have to protect their account, Shopify, right? And so you can, from there, you can add your own Stripe account. You can add additional payment methods, right? Very important if you want to provide your customers with different ways for them to pay for things in your store. Now, the other page that you want to make sure you have set up correctly is your shipping and delivery, right? You want to select general profile, and then from here you'll be able to set up your store. So as you can see here, since I don't have the United States market, if you remember earlier in the store, right, I don't have it set up properly, right? That means, again, if US customers find my store and they try to purchase my t-shirt or a hat, they will not be able to purchase that, right? Because I don't have this set up, right? They don't have, Shopify does not know what, if the shipping is free, if the shipping should be paid, so it will say out of stock for them, right? If a Canadian customer comes by, they'll be able to buy, because Shopify now knows that any order 75 and up will include free shipping, right? Standard orders will include $0 to $74, right? Well, include $12, sorry. This is the price for any orders, right? It'll be $12, right? If it's under $75. So something to take into account when you're setting up your shipping, right? And then your taxes and duties, right? For this, it's very simple to set up, right? You just want to make sure your accountant or your tax advisor, just if you're confused or anything, reach out to them and see if they can help you. Just making sure that everything's set up correctly for your store and business. And then one of the last things you want to check out is your domains page. So your domains page is really important to have your store looking really clean and professional, right? You don't want customers to visit like a store like this because it maybe might not look trustworthy, right? So you want to make sure you have a custom domain. Again, you could use you could connect an existing domain if you have one, right? Or you could buy a new Shopify domain from Shopify. And one of the benefits of this is that when you buy a Shopify domain directly from Shopify, it will automatically connect it. You don't have to worry about DNS and setup something, even though it takes like less than 5 minutes to connect, right? So once you've updated your Shopify payment, right, your shipping and delivery, right, and you tested it all out, you want to make sure you go to preferences outside your online store and just remove the password protection, right? Because this will allow you to, be able to start to sell things pretty much to your customers. They'll be able to access your store, right? I will need to change my password after this video, right? Because now you guys saw it is Shield, right? So really important to do if you want to start generating sales right for that. So that's pretty much it on how to build a Shopify website. Now I just have some tips, right? One of them is that you might want to go and check out some apps for a Shopify store to help with generating more sales. One of them is called Inbox. It's a free app you could download. It's like almost like a chat app, right? Well, it is a chat feature app, right? Where you can add like comment, ask questions, right? So like, let's say somebody has like, you have a refund policy, right? And instead of having to manually reply to that customer, you can have these instant replies. So if we go back to here, store, you can manage settings. So here we have instant answers, right? So if you have like, what's the return policy, right? You can create an instant answer for that, right? So that people can, so when they click it, right, they'll get this answer sent to them directly without you having to manually respond to that customer, which saves you so much time, right? So that's an app I recommend you get. Another app I recommended a lot of merchants when they started the Shopify store was Shopify messaging. You want to have this to send email and SMS to your customers, right? You do not want to lose sales, and email is probably one of the best ways to capture those sales. So again, you want to do this, and you want to download this other free app called Flow that will help with your email marketing. It will, and there's already pre-made automations, so you can just like install them and it will automatically send them once you set up your email once, and you're good to go from there, right? So those are 3 apps I recommend you download when you're first building your Shopify store. So hopefully that helps. Again, if you have any questions, comment down below. I'll be happy to help.